Welcome in, everybody, to Leading Off right here on Fantasy Pros. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. That is Dinger Dan Harris. And it's you when we're talking all things baseball today. It's a fun Friday. We got DFS, we got a little waiver wire, we got a new version of Joe's Tough Guys, which I like also. Plus, a young hoss made his debut finally. Dan Harris, it's Friday. I know it's been a long week here at Fantasy Pros. I'm just checking in with you. Are you ready for the nice, long holiday weekend, my friend?
Nah, not really.
Way to bring the energy this morning. Way to really, ready to go? Nah.
This is great. I'm really excited.
Wow.
Happy to be
Where
here.
Look, my
wife is going away for the weekend, and it's going to rain and be a high of 48 tomorrow. So no, I'm not in the best mood. I have 0 shares of Alec Manoa. This is not a good day. So you're going to have to carry the show. Are you ready? You can
what
do
else
it.
is new? I mean, but is she leaving you alone with the children, or is she taking
That
the
is
children with her?
accurate. That is accurate. She's leaving. It is a missed out on her last year. She turned 40. Sorry, I'm revealing her age. She doesn't listen anyway. And her trip with her friends was postponed, so they're making up for it now.
Oh, that's
Gone for
nice.
4 days. Dad alone with the children. Rain all weekend. High of 50s. I'm not in the best mood. I will get up for the show. I'm sorry, but for the first 13 minutes, you have to carry it.
All right. Yes. I got 2 words for you, Dan. Marvel Marathon.
Oh, I got it.
That's what
I
you
got
do.
it.
You
I
get
got
the
it.
popcorn. You get all the snacks. You go, guys. Rain's gonna suck. It's gonna be terrible. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, and maybe get a project or a big board game thing or something like that going. Something like that. Buy a
Why
new
you're
game.
the GOAT. It's why
I'm the
goat,
GOAT. Because every weekend is me and my
true.
kids. Every
That's
weekday is me and my kids. This is
true.
my life. So it's a little different. This is
You
just
got it.
This is just Friday.
Got it.
That's all it is. All right. Let's talk about the big hoss, and let's start with the 3 up. Alec Manoa debut, making fools look silly. That's what he's done to the Yankees. How about this? 6 innings, 7K, no earned runs. And his mom, how adorable was his mom? I was watching the start, and his mom in the stands. Oh, she was so excited, and she was taking all the pictures, and she had to sit down. She was so overjoyed, and it was a beautiful moment for Alec Manoa. And I'm like you, I got 0 shares too. I don't know how that happened. Just didn't materialize. We were too busy talking about Nate Pearson all offseason, and Alec Manoa is looks like he ate Nate Pearson. Not in like a big fat guy way, like, oh my God, he's a monster. He's a hoss. I love it. I don't get to say hoss very often, but he is going to be hoss on this show from now on.
I agree. I always think of Haas for whatever reason when I see him. It was great. And the thing with him is that it's not like he throws that hard. I feel like when he pitches, you're like, wow, what are you hitting? Topping out at 100 there? No, it's like at 95, which is plenty hard. But he has such extension because he's big that it's like the ball is released 2 or 3 inches closer. And so it's just like, as a hitter, you're like, oh God, what's happening right now? This is great. And look, I said in our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat, which is where people were asking, like, do I start Manoa? And I was like, yeah, I usually take it slow with guys returning from injury in their first start. I want to see, but for Manoa, even at Yankee Stadium, you just throw him out there. You just see what you've got, because he does look like he has dominated everywhere he's been so far this year. The big thing is the innings, right? Because he doesn't have that many innings, because you had last year in 2019 to 17 innings. But for now, I mean, ride him, because he's going to dominate as long as
and I see already a ton of questions here for the Peanuts of the Cracker Jacks this morning about him. In Dynasty, yes, you hope that he evolves eventually into a frontline starting pitcher. He's not that now, just because he had 1 great start. It's also the first time the league has seen him. After a couple starts, they're going to see him. They're going to start to understand what he is. They're going to start to have more tape on him, and then they're going to start to care a little bit more, and things are going to change, and he'll have some up and down. There will be limitations. There will be inning limitations, pitch limitations, and all of those other things. So in a redraft league, if somebody's going to blow you away with an offer for him right off the bat, consider it. I'm just saying consider it, because at a certain point when you turn the page into August, I don't know what Alec Manoa is going to give you. It might be great, but history tells us more likely it's going to be a lot of the skipping starts, a lot of the, babying the guy towards, especially if there is a pennant race. They're going to want this guy come September. So just be real careful about this. I'm just saying, yes, it was against the Yankees. It was a beautiful moment in time. Let's not go too crazy yet. But it is a very exciting debut from a young, exciting pitcher, and goodness knows we need some good news. Bo Bichette had some good news. 2 home runs, 1 in each of the doubleheader games in that same series. And look, Shane Bieber's back. Oh, yeah, 12 strikeouts. Everybody remember last week everyone was crying and moaning about what's wrong with Shane Bieber? I don't know what's going on with him. Joe, what's happening with Shane Bieber? Is he okay? Do I need to send like an edible arrangement to his house? He's fine. Everything's fine with Shane Bieber. It's always going to be fine with Shane Bieber. 12 strikeouts for him. You enjoy that voice? That's what people sound like in my head when they worry about Shane Bieber. I actually
did send an edible arrangement to his house. I take credit.
They're delicious.
They're fantastic. Yeah. Go get it when you need it. But look, it was against the Tigers. Bieber's fine. He still is walking a few too many guys. I do have him still, Joe. I don't know about you. I have a mini divide right now between Cole DeGrom and Bieber. It's like tier 1 and then tier 1A and then the rest of the pitchers. Whereas before they were all tier 1, just because his control has been a little lacking. But yeah, of course, Bieber's fine. Like, there's no reason to panic whatsoever. I want to make one point on Manoa, by the way. I agree with you completely. Okay, there's just no way in the long run that this guy is going to have the same value as a very, very like second starter or something in fantasy leagues because the innings just won't be there. However, this year more than anything, Joe, I'm kind of moving towards the philosophy of a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush or whatever.
You're not wrong. You ain't wrong, baby.
Right? Because give me production wherever I can get it. I will worry about what's going to happen down the road when we get there because of all the injuries, because of everything. I agree with you completely. This isn't somebody to be like, okay, well, good. I can trade he's not the 20th starter ranked rest of season or anything like that. But I would be very happy just to ride this out for as long as I'm going to be able to.
All right, let's do some 3 down here. Noah Syndergaard shut down for 6 weeks. Ugh, terrible, awful. So much for June. And this is the danger that you run. I've seen this, and I have stopped doing it. A couple years ago, there were a bunch of guys returning from Tommy John, and I had a few of them, and I was like, I'm going to stash this guy. I'm super smart. No, none of it worked out. And I said, I'm never going to do this again. I made a commitment to myself. I got 0 shares of Syndergaard, 0 shares of Sale, 0, and any redraft, Severino, none of them. I wasn't going to do it. I'm not looking at the future. I got to win in the present. In these redraft leagues, it's way too hard. So for me right now, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I'm depressed about it, but it is what it is, as the kids like to say. Reds lose Hoffman to a shoulder injury and Nick Senzel to a knee injury for 6 whole weeks. And Ohtani misses his start, and I'm sure everybody went, oh my God, why'd he miss his start? Because of traffic. Not the band from the 70s, but actually because there was traffic on the bridge and he couldn't get there in time to prepare. But meanwhile, in that same start, Chris Bassett, who had a fantastic start, complete game for him. Boy, he's really become something, hasn't he? Chris Bassett has really turned himself into quite a good pitcher. Here you go. Chris Bassett or Alec Manoa rest of season.
Oh, gosh.
Who would you rather? That trade's on the table. You're the Alec Manoa owner in a redraft league. Let's call it Roto because let's just call it that because that's what people do.
I'm probably taking Manoa. Though really the numbers do not back it up. I know. And I'm looking at the numbers now. I actually was a little surprised. I get it. This is a little surprised because I don't focus on Chris Bassett that much. I just don't. Chris Bassett is what he is, right? He's a guy who is going to put up a decent ERA, a decent whip, not strike out a lot of batters until this year, where he is striking out way more batters than I kind of realized that he was. His strikeout rate is by far a career high, 9.5 per 9, 26.1% strikeout rate. That's way up from what he's usually been doing. So yeah, I'm probably wrong on that. He's just, everything about him looks very solid. I mean, his ERA is backed up by his expected stats, his FIP, everything like that. So you're probably right. I probably have to move Chris Bassett up. I'll still take Manoa because whatever, I said it. And I don't back down. I never reconsider my opinions. But yeah, he's been really good. He's been really good.
I'll take Chris Bassett on that one. That's fun. We're also going to do a segment here Mike Mayer brought into the show yesterday. And I didn't mean to continue it, but I saw this and I went, oh, this is going to be perfect. So I saw this on the Twitter machine. Okay. And this is a true story. In 1986... Nolan Ryan pitched with he pitched with a partially torn UCL. There you go. Dr. James Andrews said that he preferred to just do the surgery on it or whatever. And Nolan Ryan said, no, you know what? I'm going to sit out on the offseason and let it scar over, and I'll be fine. So he lets the partially torn UCL scar over, just kind of lets it heal on its own, does its thing. And Dr. Andrews says that you're probably only going to pitch 1 year if you can even get through that. He went on to pitch for 7 more seasons after that. And this is according to pitching coach Tom House, who was pitching guru for many, many years, Tom House. And I saw this and I went, wow, this is a very interesting thing. It's also fascinating because this was something that you saw from the Yankees. Oh, my goodness. Japanese pitcher. It just went out of my head. Thank you. Masahiro Tanaka, who did not have Tommy John, if you recall. He also had a partially torn UCL.
Yep.
Had the same thing. He was never quite the same pitcher, but still pitched in the major leagues for many years and then went back to Japan. So I guess here's a question. With the way Tommy Johns are giving out like Halloween candy nowadays, is there something to this where maybe the body healing naturally is a better thing than all of this surgically repaired, redone, all this stuff? I don't know. I guess that's my question to you, because there seems to be some precedent here for some guys who have pitched through this. And then when you go back and look at the guys who used to throw 200, 300 innings every year, back in the days where there were 4-man rotations, I'm sure there was a ton of partially torn UCLs and then guys didn't throw. And then they went back and, in spring training and ramped up again. What do you think about this? I thought this was provocative.
I disagree. Not that it's not provocative. Not that it's not provocative.
What a great setup. I set it up so logically and all these things.
I've been waiting for it.
What do you think about this? I disagree. This all day. You excited about Memorial Day? Nope.
No.
What do you think about this? You think something?
No.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, this is great.
All right.
Wow.
Also, thank you to everyone, obviously, for Memorial Day, who has ever served, of course. Sorry, just want to make that
likewise.
Regardless, and lost their lives, of course. Okay, so with this, I think when you bring in Nolan Ryan and you compare any sort of injury, like, we're just playing with fire right now because the man is not a normal human. Like, baseball players should not be able to do what he was able to do generally. So when you're like, well, Nolan Ryan could do it, maybe that's evidence that we don't really need. For the old timers, who knows? Like, you kept pitching and you were just like, I don't know, I've just got to keep pitching. Also, I'm topping out at 85 miles per hour. So it was probably a little different back then. I think when you do Nolan Ryan, the guy's built like a freak. Like, he's not normal. You can't deal with a normal pitcher like that. With Tanaka,
Masahiro Tanaka is not a freak, and that's why I made the combination there between the two there.
But they try this now, right? They try the partially torn UCL, and then they give you the PCP injection or whatever it is.
I don't think it's the PCP injection. I'm pretty sure it's not that injection. I'm seeing so many baseballs.
No, that's why they're allowed to pitch, Joe, because they're all like, whatever, man, this is great. The injection
Doc Ellis, I think, had the PCP injection on the no-hitter he threw.
The way to basically try to, and occasionally get a guy like Tanaka. I think Irvin Santana pitched with a partially torn UCL forever and stuff like that.
You're right.
But for the most part, if you're not Nolan Ryan.
I think what you mean to say is the platelet-rich blood.
PRP.
Yes.
There
PRP,
it is, right?
Not the PCP.
You go, Mike Maris. I get PCP injection, so I don't know what everybody's talking about. But, I think that for the most part, don't compare people to Ryan at all, ever. And now we're all
I'm just so happy about this because the PCP injection is not going away.
I'm in it. I'm on it.
All right, we talked about the Blue Jay boys. Let's talk about some other performances from yesterday. Sonny Gray, 6 shutout innings, 5 Ks against the Nats. Dylan Cease, who was our dude yesterday, remember? Cheap Dylan Cease. Let's keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
10 Ks, 6 innings. How you doing? Love it. Dylan Cease gets that ERA under 3. Yerman Mercedes, 2 for 4 with a dinger in that one. He's still hitting. Everybody thought he'd be done by now, but he wasn't. We mentioned Chris Bassett's complete game shutout there. Great performance for him. Pablo Lopez had 7 innings of his own against the Phillies that were solid. Stroman, 6 shutout innings against the Rockies. He seems to pitch very well against the Rockies this year. The Mets win both ends of a doubleheader somehow with the replacements. Kyle Hendricks, 7 innings, 3 runs. Gave up 3 solo homers, but it was the Pirates, so you can get by with that.
Yeah.
Chris Flexen. Once again, Flexen every now and then has a really good start out of nowhere, and I don't know how this happens. But don't buy into it. Don't get crazy. His ERA is still over 4, and his whip is over 1.4. Rosario, 2 for 4 with a dinger, and Shane Bieber, the 12 Ks. Austin Meadows, 2 for 4. How nice with a home run. So he's got 10 homers, but he's still hitting just 222. And then Shane McClanahan and the rest of the Golden Girls, 5 shutout innings, 6 Ks against the Royals for him. So any thoughts from one of these guys stand out for you for some of the big performances yesterday you want to buy into?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dylan Cease is somebody who yesterday was really impressive. A ton of swinging strikes. Again, it was the Orioles, and Trey Mancini left that game early. He's fine. I think he got hit on the elbow, but he's okay. But Cease was really, really impressive. We did talk about him on DFS, but that was a game that sort of struck me as okay, maybe this one is the actual breakout game, because he was absolutely dominant. They couldn't touch him. A ton of swinging strikes in that game. So Cease is definitely a guy who kind of stuck out to me. And I will mention Hendricks. Again, he did give up the 3 runs, but all 3 were on solo homers, as you mentioned, which, again, he's giving up a ton of homers this year, but I watched him pretty closely. It was the Pirates, and kudos to somebody on Discord, I forget who it was, basically was like, hey, he got through the first inning. I can turn this off. It's a perfect game now, right? And it basically was. He pitched extremely well in the game. I really like his command is much better right now. I think we're going to see a lot closer to the Kyle Hendricks that we expected to see coming in. I think we're going to see that rest of the season.
It's going to get complicated, though, because Hendricks was a pitcher I think that a lot of teams had on their radar for a trade. And with
Not
the
anymore.
Cubs competing right now, that's going to be a real problem. So,
oh my God, did you see that Javier Baez play, by the way, Joe, yesterday?
I did not.
What happened?
I heard about it, but I did see the Pittsburgh Pirates thing, and I watched it 3 or 4 times. The thing with the guy on third and the guy going to first, and the first baseman runs the guy back down.
That is the play I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. I'm calling it the Pittsburgh Pirates thing. So
okay,
yes, I did see that. That was the most depressing, bad little league thing I've ever seen in Major League Baseball, and I've seen a lot of baseball in my life, but that was up there with like just atrocious stuff. Yeah,
describing it won't do it justice. If you haven't seen it,
I can't even describe it. It's so frustrating.
Right. I put in Javier Baez in Twitter, search for him, and I'm sure it will come up. It was really the most bizarre thing you've ever seen, and it was just like the Pirates and the first baseman completely froze and had no idea what to do, because you've never seen a person try to get into a rundown between home and first. That's just not the way baseball works. So bizarro world.
Well, it was just so funny because all the first baseman had to do was turn around and touch the base.
Even after he slid in, even after Wilson Contreras went all the way around from second and third, all you had to do was turn around and go to first, and it's out. It's a forced play at first. Just ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
Just, I don't know.
Sorry.
It's just stunning. No, we had to talk about it. I was going to bring it up, but in my mind, the funny part about it is I kept watching it on Twitter, and I probably was watching it without the sound, so I didn't even realize. I was so mad about the whole thing that I probably couldn't even process that it was Javi Baez involved in it. I think that's what my problem was. I was like, why is it? What's happening? What's going on? Oh, goodness. Let's check in.
If, like me, you get frustrated at the Little League play of your 7-year-old son, just watch that and realize, all right, maybe my guys aren't so bad. They're fine.
It's fine. Oh, God, just so frustrating. So many things went wrong after that, too, and then throwing the ball in the right field. And my God, it was just amazing. All right, here's some closer news. Chad Green got the save for the Yankees with Chapman out due to an injury, but, just monitor that one. Jordan Romano, who I picked up last week.
Yes.
And I kind of touched on him last week, too, in the waiver wire pickups. I said, look, pick him up. Just see what happens. Clean save, game 1 of the doubleheader. Don't know where it's going. Just put it out there. Lucas Sims, clean save against the Nats. Don't know if he's going to be the guy. We'll see. Joaquin Soria pitched the 9th inning in a tie game at home. Romano's the guy I want to highlight. I think the red situation is completely fakakta, but, Romano's the one where I think there's opportunity here because he was so good in the spring. It looked like the job was his, and then it wasn't, and then the injury, and I don't know. I kind of feel like we're starting to, as momentum swinging back to Romano.
Kudos for the use of fakakta, by the way.
Fakakta.
Well done there.
It's fakakta. I got that word of the day, toilet paper. It's
right. I love it. I love it. With Romano, somebody, and I wish Mike, who is here, and again, mentioning that saves in 7-inning games don't count, as he's joking. If we could publish my text with Mayor about Jordan Romano, where I've been livid about Jordan Romano for like 2 weeks, because there is no reason for him to not have been the closer when Dolis went on the IL, and they were kind of jerking him around a little bit, but he was pitching really well. And then he pitched in the 9th inning of a tie game, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then I was joking with Mayor because they brought him in when the Blue Jays were well ahead on Tuesday or something, and I was like, what? They don't know what they're doing. Finally, you saw it, an actual save situation. I don't care, it's a 7-inning game. He came in. He has been great of late. This is your Blue Jays closer. I am calling it. He is available in a lot of places because people didn't want it. People didn't want to buy in. This is your Blue Jays closer. Pick him up if you need, because there is a closer, an actual closer who you can probably rely on to get the rest of the saves, I think, sitting out there on waivers. So go pick him up.
Look, if he's out there, go grab him. I mean, that's just madness if he is. You definitely got to do that. All right, in case you can't hear, the lawnmower is outside of my house right now. That's nothing compared to the lawnmower 4.0 at Manscape. That's right. Always everything ties in together. That's what we do over here. The new multifunction on-off switch, the 4000K LED light, the quiet stroke, soft, advanced skin technology, or maybe just the look the feel, the elegance of the hot foil black stamped chrome Manscaped logo. All of that all works in to the beauty that is the Manscaped 4.0 lawnmower. And I'm getting a little William Shatner here today as I talk about the lawnmower. But look, get out there, manscaped.com. Use that code leading off. Go get yourself 20% off and free shipping with that code leading off at manscaped.com. All jokes aside, it's a fantastic tool. And I know something about being a fantastic tool. I've been called that many times in my life. And I'm telling you right now, this is the tool that you need. Beach season, pool season, every season's around the corner right now. Father's Day is coming, makes a great gift. Go to manscaped.com. They got a million great products here, but the Lawnmower 4.0 is the one you want. Trust us, your balls will thank you. All right, little quick fly around with some injuries, and then we'll get to DFS. Trevor Story removed from arm soreness. Trey Mancini got hit by a pitch. Stayed in the game. Got hit on the elbow, came out of the game after he went to the... I guess it was tightening up on him, so he just figured he would just come out. X-rays were negative. I would imagine he probably misses maybe Friday, Saturday, maybe comes back Sunday. I wouldn't freak out about it. Austin Nola going on the IL with a knee sprain, so back to the IL for him. Marte is going to be activated. Starling, that is. Aaron Hicks out for the year. And we talked about the guys in the Reds already. So, injuries continue to fly. That's what Major League Baseball is. I also saw this, and I just wanted to run through these real fast because I thought they were fun. And I like fun, and it's Friday. It was supposed to have a fun Friday. Sure. So this was something on MLB.com where they were talking about some crazy, not so crazy trade fits. I'm going to throw you some names and some teams, see what you think about this, and we'll just lightning through them. Max Scherzer to the Blue Jays. What do you think about that?
Love it. I mean, I love it. If you could do it, for sure, that would make them probably maybe the favorite in the American League, right?
Would you give up Manoa for him?
Yep.
I love the lack of hesitation there. It was stunning.
There's no hesitation. I mean, I get it completely, but I'm moved very much, Joe, as somebody who has rooted for a team where a window seems like it's open for a long time, and then it just shuts. Like the Mets with 2006. I go for it right away. I would give up Manoa for him.
And you know what? If I'm Washington, I think I consider that deal. You need some more young pitching in there. You got to start to turn things over. You're gonna have to pay Juan Soto eventually.
Yep.
I don't know what that's gonna cost. It's gonna cost a lot. Trevor Story to the Reds.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm fine. I wonder, how it would be with him getting out of Coors, but he's a talented enough hitter, certainly. But I don't think the Reds have the fortitude to stay in contention all year. But I don't. Whatever.
It's a tricky one, that's for sure. That one's a little bit more complicated. What about Nelson Cruz to the A's? A little bit more punch in that lineup. Another right-handed power bat in the middle there. Maybe the Twinkies kind of move on.
Sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, I think that they definitely could use one extra kind of reliable bat, so I'm okay with it. Not blowing my socks off, but I'm okay with it.
Joey Gallo to the Yankees is stupid. I'm not even going to acknowledge that one. Last one, Mitch Haniger to the Indians or maybe somewhere else. I think Mitch Haniger could help a lot of teams. I think that's a player that could really help somebody.
He's getting dealt for sure. He has to, because again, we talked about it coming into the year where when he is healthy, he is an impact player. Maybe not an impact fantasy player necessarily, but he's an impact player. I like that one a lot, actually, because the Indians are surprisingly in contention right now.
All right, one Crackerjack on Discord called a home run yesterday. It was Kartikay. I'm not sure. It was Aaron Judge. Well done, Kartikay.
Good job.
And we'll get our home run calls in a second. Waiver wire, real quick. I've got Romano. I've got Jonathan VR. I got Keston Hira, who's available in almost 60% of leagues. Who else for you?
Yeah, I mean,
around that waiver wire.
If you're desperate for pitching, you can get by with Adam Wainwright, who's been surprisingly good, especially at home, which is where he pitches this weekend against the Reds. CJ Cron is available now in a lot of leagues because he was obviously on the IL. He hasn't done great with 7 games. I think 7 games or the whole week at home at the very least. This is where you want to go. And Evan Longoria is a guy who we never talk about because obviously he's a veteran. But again, he hit another homer last night. He's been hot. His exit velocity is super high right now, like one of the league leaders. He's a guy you can ride for, especially in the short term. So those are a couple of guys I'm looking at if I'm just trying to, again, win the week, essentially.
All right, let's try to win the night here in DFS. We got a big slate here, 12 games. The good chalk tonight's Toronto. Hyunjin Ryu is cost-effective on FanDuel, 9.6, 8.4 on DK. Very cheap on DK. Love him there. Garrett Cole is very expensive tonight if you're going to start him on the road against Detroit. 12.2 on FanDuel, 11.2 on DK. Walker Buehler, 11K, 10.4. I like Ian Anderson as the best ROI of the cash game guys, though. Yeah. 9K on FanDuel. Great price for him. 9.7. He's going against that Mets lineup that is obviously replacement level players across the board. He's facing Taijuan Walker, so if you want to go Oppo there, Taijuan Walker coming back from the injury. He's pitched very well this year, but still, it's a little bit of a risk. Framber Valdez makes his return. I like him as a GPP arm tonight too because he's 8.5, 8.2. He is basically a quality start machine. First start back, people are going to fade that. I wouldn't. He's a very good pitcher. If he's back, he's probably going to be back. Sean Manaea at home. I know he's going against Ohtani tonight, but still, he's just 7.1 on FanDuel, 8.5 over on DK. Listen to me now and believe me later. Sean Manaea at home this year, his ERA has been dazzling. He has a good start. Roster percentage will be low because Ohtani gets a lot of publicity. He's worth taking a shot on. Your thoughts about these big arms before we move on to the secondary guys?
I like the Manaea call a lot. Again, that Angels lineup, as much as Justin Upton's been doing well in the leadoff role, it's just not the same without Trout there. And at home, I like it. But I do agree with you that Ian Anderson is the guy who just has so much value right now. Again, that Mets lineup, They win games 1-0, 2-1.
It's amazing they're winning games. But
it's fantastic. Their pitchers are like one of these, creatures that are adapting to, like, all right, I'm only going to get a little bit of food. I have to train my body to only survive on this amount of food. And that's how they're doing. Kudos to them. But their lineup is ridiculous. Brandon Drury, McKinney, like Jose Peraza, those are like their core hitters. You're not going to get away with that. So Anderson's there. But again, especially on FanDuel, I know the price is high, but you can do it on FanDuel. When you've got Garrett Cole anywhere, especially against the Tigers, it's really hard to get away. But in terms of value, I do think that per the price, Ian Anderson is the guy.
All right, we've also got secondary arms to keep an eye on tonight. Desclafani, I know he's against the Dodgers, but he's 6.9. He's pitched very well, and Ohtani's just 7.8, so hopefully, I guess he slept at the ballpark, or maybe they're getting him an Uber or something to get him there early. Some stacks to keep an eye on tonight you want to get involved in. I like Seattle. They're very cost-effective. This allows you to get Garrett Cole in cash if you want him, or Walker Buehler. Very low cost. They have high run total tonight. Minnesota, Chicago White Sox. Game stack, Milwaukee versus Washington should have a fair amount of runs. And let's do it. Here you go. Here's your value, guys. Get your pens and papers out. FanDuel, Urshela, 2.3. Tellez, free square, 2K. If he's in the lineup, and he should be. Kyle Tucker's 2.8. Correa's 2.9. Kyle Garlick. Can you smell the garlic at 2.3 at the top of the Twins order? I can. Polanco, right in that Twins order too, 2.1. Andrew Vaughn, 2.5. And here you go. Here's your Seattle guys. Ty France, who's been hitting since he came back. 2K, free square. Kyle Lewis, 2.5. Kelenic, 2.4. I'm telling you, you can get in on this. This is how you make Cole work. Seattle Mariners. On DK, Keston Hiura at 2.9. He's cheap. Adalberto Mondesi, 2.8. Dan's favorite player. Andrew Vaughn, 2.5. And Ty France, 2.8. Those are some guys that can help you. You know what? I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to grow here on the show. We have a great group of people here behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, all over the scenes. So tonight, I'm going to try to learn from past mistakes. I'm going to go for my home run call with Vlad Guerrero Jr. That's right. I'm finally going to do it, and I'm going to see. And maybe I can go wrong. I'm sure it's going to. If he goes 0 for 5 tonight, I'm the reason. You can blame me. So give me Vladdy tonight. And Dan, who's your home run call? Who you calling your shot with?
I'm going to go a little less obvious right now. Thought about going to that White Sox game, but I am going to go with Kelenic. Again, that's a game I do think you can attack from a DFS perspective against Jordan Lyles. I'm going to go with my guy Kelenic so that it eases the pain that I feel every single time I watch him hit a home run. So Kelnic's my call.
Ease his pain.
Ease his pain. And remember, by the way, again, you make your own home run calls. The person who wins at the end of the year, just get it's fantasypros.com/chat. Come into the MLB podcast channel. Make your home run call. Mike Mayer, the man, the myth, the legend, keeps track of it for the whole year. We will keep track. And the winner at the end of the year.
This is on Discord.
Yes, sorry,
on Discord. You say Discord, Dan.
What did I say?
You just didn't say Discord. No, you just said the channel.
FantasyPros.com/chat is where you get into our Discord. Thank you, Joe. That's why you're the GOAT. And again, there's a channel specifically dedicated to the podcast where we just talk about the podcast. If you're here on YouTube, I'm in there all the time. Joe's in there. So go ahead and make your home run call. And if you have the most right at the end of the season, you will win some free swag. What's the downside, man? Get in on that.
There's none. Go have some fun. And I'll be in the Discord chat more because finally the Black Book is up on Amazon for football.
Yay.
So now there's a huge weight off of me. Now I can go and do frivolous, fun discussion things more often. And we'll do some AMAs on there too. And we'll do that thing where we call people on stage and you actually talk with us. And we'll talk baseball, we'll talk football. We're going to do that all in the month of June. We got a fun holiday weekend. Dan's going to have to amuse his kids for the long weekend. My other suggestion to you, it's very easy to do. Put them to work, okay? Making pizza dough is a very easy thing. I will give you my recipe if you want. Do you have a food processor in the house?
No. I don't think so.
You go buy a food processor.
I'm the worst, Joe, honestly. I'll tell you what I have. Hold on.
You go to get the food processor for $50, whatever it is. It's worth it. You go out there. I'm going to give you the pizza dough recipe. I'm going to give you a couple recommendations. The whole thing. Everybody makes their own pizza.
On my way out to get some
Marvel stuff.
How about that?
You're fine. All weekend, you're going to be good.
Look, for the one thing that Dan Harris can do as that is entertain the children. Okay, I've got like the very interactive sort of like I build the safari around the house. Don't worry, I've got some stuff. But it's the fact that it's basically summer and it's going to be absolutely freezing and it's going to be raining for 4 days straight. That's what really gets me. Okay, that's the killer. But again,
play out in the rain. Take them out in the rain. They'll never forget it.
Okay, I'll video diary the entire weekend.
I want full. But we get back here. Are we doing a show on Monday? I don't even know. Are we doing a show on Monday?
I don't know. I'm good to do a show. We're doing a show on Monday, of course. Absolutely.
We'll be here Monday. There you go.
Look, everybody enjoy
Memorial Day. Everybody enjoy their Memorial Day weekend, even if it's rainy and miserable. Enjoy it. And also, like Dan said, I want to thank all of our veterans out there for all of their service and all of their sacrifices over the many, many years of our fine country. So once again, shout out to all of them.
Yes.
And like Dan said, we'll be back here on Monday. So enjoy your baseball, everybody, this weekend. And we'll be back again soon. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Dinger Dan Harris, I'm Joe Pisapia. We'll see you next time, kids.